Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Tony with Powersports at Palm Beach. Today we got a KX450F 2015. We're going to be changing the clutch lever, the brake lever out with some arc levers, unbreakable levers, and here we go. All right, so for today's project, as you can see, we got our arc levers. We're going to use a 10mm snap-on T-handle, an 8mm snap-on T-handle, 8mm wrench, 10mm wrench. And that's pretty much all you're going to need to do this job. So let's get started. We're going to start with the front brake. It's got this little plastic cover to keep all the dirt out from the mechanical pieces. Just kind of slide that off like that, like so. This little cover, set that right there. Here's our front brake lever. We can go ahead and take it off. These are 10mm wrench on the top and our T-handle on the bottom. Take the nut off the bottom, put that to the side. Get the bolt out of the top. So here's the stock lever we took off. Here's a new arc lever that we're going to put on. Obviously, one thing you can tell off the bat is one's black, one's silver. This is made out of aluminum. This is actually a composite material, so it's basically like plastic. So it's very, very, very light. And the other cool thing about this lever, it also bends. So if the bike ever falls or drops, it won't actually break the lever like this. If you look at these levers, most of the street bike levers, dirt bike levers, they have some type of cutaway in them. And that's for them to be able to actually brake when they hit the ground instead of like going into something or, so most levers have some type of breakaway in them. Why this lever is really cool is because it breaks away by itself, so it'll never stab you or hurt you, or hopefully not. So, so basically the same bolt that we took out just slides right into the lever, just like that. And it's pretty simple. Just gonna go ahead and just stick the lever right back on the bike. I will say this: there's a little cutaway in the lever, and then if you can see right here, this is just the brake pin that pushes against the master cylinder. So you have to line that little cutaway up. We want to make sure that you always line up the little brake pin with the indentation of the lever. I've seen it to where people don't get this right, and it actually puts a lot of pressure on the brake and locks the brake up. Very unsafe, but you can see that thing just slides right in there like this. It just sits in there. So just make sure that that's pretty much the only thing you can do to mess this job up. Let's go ahead and tighten this one down. The top bolt, you just want to snug it. You don't really want to tighten it up. The reason why is because the nut locks it together. And if you tighten that bolt too tight, it actually can grab the lever and make it really hard to pull. So all you'll do is put your wrench up there, and then you just tighten that nut and just make that one nice and snug. So basically, the lever's installed, it works. Like I said, the cool thing about it is when it does fall, it does bend. So usually you'll never break this lever. They're really hard to break. You know, that's why they cost what they cost. You also have an adjustment here, so if you're not happy with where the lever is compared to where your hand is, you can always adjust it by turning this bolt in or out, which is really cool. Some levers have it, some levers don't, so depending on your finger and where you want it. Another rule of thumb on a dirt bike is you can always move the master cylinder to angle the lever up or down, so whatever feels comfortable with you. Don't be afraid to just try different positions, especially if you're getting arm pump, or if it's just not comfortable for you, or it's kind of the bike is wearing you out quicker than it should. Try moving things around, the handlebars, the brake lever, the clutch lever, because it potentially could cure the arm pump just by moving your wrists a little bit. So it's always a good rule of thumb to try that. And then here's our cover, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw our stock cover back on. And there you go. Arc brake lever on a KX450 2015. Again, thanks for stopping by. I'm Tony with Powersports of Palm Beach. You can always check us out on the web at 561powersports.com. Facebook, Facebook.com/PowerSports of Palm Beach. We're on Google+, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Check us out on the web. Call, click, or come in today. Thanks, guys.